A lot has changed in my life this year. More than's changed in years. Like, it's all decided to happen this year. And it started, coincidentally, I don't know if there's some, some weird mystical bullshit about this. It all started to change when I shaved my head. I'm just saying. I went bald, suddenly everything went upside down. For the better, with some little bits of shit thrown in there for good measure, but in general, for good reasons. So this year I've gone through, apart from the baldness, I got a new job. Got out of the shitty supermarket that I was working in. 9 weeks into the new job, I got a position higher up in that same job. I left a 10-year relationship that was already a skeleton by that point. It died a long time ago, but I finally got out of that. So then, of course, I moved out, so I'm now living on my own for the first time in my life. I've just got my first passport at 29 years of age, and I've also booked a trip to Germany in December to fly on my own for the first time to go and see a friend who's over there. And I don't quite know what's happening in my life. Everything's going very strange. Nothing's happened for so many years in my life. Nothing has happened. It's been very stagnant, very much in the sort of position of forced content. If I don't accept this situation, I'm going to drive myself mad, so I'm just going to accept it. That's been my life for the past too long. Everything's a bit weird at the minute. Like, my brain hasn't quite caught up with everything that's changed. I'm not sure I've physically or emotionally caught up with everything that's changed yet. It's an odd feeling. What's an odder feeling is the loneliness that I've had recently. I'm in such a strange position where I know I'm not lonely. That's what's really annoying. That's why it's such a bitch, because I know I'm not lonely. I have, a job that I love with colleagues who I think are amazing. I don't tell them that because I want, they've got to stay humble. So I've got a support group there. I've obviously got my family as well, who I can always talk to, my parents particularly. I can talk to about anything. I've got my friends who I've known for years at this point, some of them 10 years, my best mate over 15 years. I am in a position in my life right now where I have the biggest support group that I've ever had, whilst simultaneously I feel lonelier than I've ever felt. Which is so annoying, because I know I'm not lonely. So why do I feel like I am? And the answer is, essentially, I live alone for the first time at 29. I've lived alone for 2 months now. It's strange because my brain tells me different things. One part of my brain says, Grant, think of all the things you've been wanting to do, and now you live alone. You can do them all. You can have the best time ever. You don't get distracted. You won't have anybody. Then the other side of my brain says, yeah, but do you want to do any of that? Or should we just sit down? Because we're on our own, so why does it matter? And it's like, fuck you, that part of my brain. And so that's something I'm trying to train myself out of, because that's some bullshit. It's great to have my own space where nobody gets in the way. And then sometimes I wish there was somebody to get in the way. Just purely so I can tell them to fuck off. I want somebody here so I can tell them to go. Which is insane, I know. My colleague at work said something that makes total sense. I want somebody to do nothing with. You can do things with people very easily. You can go out with people, you can go on trips with people, you can go on holiday with people, you can have sex with people, you can drink with people, you can eat with people. Having somebody that you do nothing with is like very hard to find. To be content in that situation where you'd just be in the same room and not speak, and still just be quietly happy at the company of the other person. That's, I think, what I want. But I don't know in what form I want that. Because when I think, do I want a boyfriend? I go, fucking no. I've done that. I mean, I'll do it again eventually, but right now, no. I did 10 years of that. I'm all right. You'd have to be a very special sort of right person come along for me to go, you know what, actually, I'll give this a go. Because right now, I don't know. I think the issue would be if I was to rush into a relationship with a randomer. It would be during those moments of loneliness that I have, which then would not be a good reason to start a relationship with somebody. I feel lonely, you're vaguely attractive, let's get together. It's not really a very good way of doing it. I've had a lot of doubt spring into my mind recently. Not necessarily doubting the changes that I've made in my life, because I don't doubt them. I can't doubt them. I think I am in a better position than I have been in years, particularly career-wise. But then this doubt pops in, and it's an irritating doubt. It's annoying for me, but it must be really annoying for some other people. One of my doubts is something that not everybody experiences, and that's why it's a strange doubt, because it's something that I do, but only with select people. So I may have people who've known me for a decade who won't recognise it as being a part of me. And that is, I'll give an example. Sorry, are you all right? Have I said something wrong? Is everything all right? Are you sure? No, it's all right. Are you sure though? Oh no, come on. If there's something wrong, just tell me. Are you sure there's nothing wrong? I didn't mean to. How fucking annoying is that? How annoying is that? That's really annoying. It's annoying me to do it, and yet that's something I do. And oh my God, is it like the worst trait a fucking human could have? There's nothing worse than somebody consistently and unnecessarily apologising, almost begging for there to be a problem. And I am so shit with doing that with certain people, not with everybody, but I'm so shit at doing it where something nice is happening, or I've met somebody, who I'm getting on with, or whatever. It's like, do you mind if I just destroy this whole fucking thing before it's, just early on, can I just really just ruin everything, please? Thank you. It's essentially what I do. And I've noticed this with dating. Dating's a very new thing for me. It's not really something I ever even did. And suddenly, I'm 29, 29 looking 38. I've been trying out the Tinders and the Grinders, two very different platforms for very different things, but both quite enjoyable. I've gone on dates with people. I believe I have ruined it before it fucking started. There was a guy I was seeing for a little bit. I have this bad way of trying to manufacture something out of nothing as well. So this guy I was seeing for about 6 weeks, on and off, a little bit, kind of casual. Here's me trying to manufacture some form of potential relationship whilst I had zero things in common with him. Like a ridiculously low amount of nothing in common. It was just like, I don't know what I was doing. It was, I assume a rebound sort of thing, potentially. He finally said that, it was kind of, he wasn't really interested. And I know that I'd done the whole, sorry if I said something wrong, just tell me if I said something wrong. You don't have to lie and say I haven't when I have. I was doing that whole bullshit. And then I go, oh my God, wait, you don't want to see me again? But what did I do? What do you think you did, Grant, you fucking moron? My behaviour in certain situations, if I saw somebody else doing it, I would not like that person. I don't like admitting that. I don't like admitting I can, on occasion, act like a fucking fool. I don't think I'm evil or nasty or anything like that, just fucking foolish. And then I get all apologetic after. Oh, it's ended now, we're not seeing each other anymore. I'm going to keep apologising to you. I'm really sorry for what I did. I'm sorry I did. And the chances are I probably did nothing. It's just one of those things, it doesn't work. Or maybe I was a bit too fucking overbearing with how much I thought I'd done wrong that I hadn't actually done wrong, and therefore it made the whole situation something that I had done wrong. And it doesn't always... it doesn't always come out in that form. It's not always necessarily dating or anything like that. It's just, I've tried to think of why I do it. And my belief, the only thing I think I can fathom is I act that way with people that I am not completely confident with. Or confident of, should I say. Not of the person's character by any means, but if it's something that for some reason I'm unsure about, this friendship or relationship or whatever it might be, I think it's like I suddenly noticed the impermanence. It's like permanent but impermanence. I think that's right. If it's not, you know what I mean. I suddenly noticed that with certain people and go, I think I notice it, and I think I go, oh, I don't think this is going to last very long, or I'm not too sure if this is going to last. Am I going to know this person in a year's time? I don't know. Therefore now I'm going to badger them with as many times as possible how sorry I am at the things that I haven't even fucking done in the first place. And it's mental. Actually, I have a best mate of 15 years. I don't think I've ever done this to him. I don't think I've ever acted like that to him, because I've never feared that he'd vanish. I've never worried about him going away. I have never seen a future where he's not a part of it. With certain people, I just have this nervousness of, I don't know if this is going to last. I don't know if you're going to stick around. And that's probably also all in my own head as well. So the whole thing is manufactured by Legrand and then destroyed by Legrand 2, the reboot. So, I start and end the whole fucking thing, and I don't seem to learn from it, and that's really difficult because in hindsight I look at situations and go, oh, what a knob I was there. Why couldn't I stop it then, and why do I repeat it now? That's something that I'm doing with a lot of things, that I think I do with a lot of things. I just place this irrational doubt on things or on people that end up causing the irrational thought and making it rational because I've created it from irrationality. I ruined things before I started. I watched the Netflix special of Brené Brown, and I started reading her book, Daring Greatly. And she has a quote that I can't remember exactly, so I'm going to butcher it for you. Prepare for mourning. I think it's something like that. We prepare for grief. Something good's happening, we instantly prepare for grief because we don't accept that good thing's happening, we just prepare for when it ends. And so we miss the good thing altogether. And I'm like, oh, bitch, queen, I do that all the time. Wow, I've never been camper in my life. But I do that all the time. I prepare for grief. I prepare for the good thing to end instead of enjoying the fucking good thing. I want to start enjoying the good thing. I said earlier, I've booked a flight to Germany for 7 days, staying with somebody there that I know. And I instantly, as soon as I booked the flight, irrational fear jumps in. A bit of dread. And like, why the fuck does that have to happen in my brain? Why do I have to instantly think that? It was like before I booked it, and because I've never flown and never had a passport, it all seemed like imaginary that I'd ever leave the country. But because I finally booked the tickets and got the passport, it made it real. And due to it being real, I was then able to think about it in my brain's imitation of reality and go, oh, but this could go wrong now, because now it's happening, definitely. Let's think of every way that it's going to go wrong. And it's shit. I don't know why I think like that. Why am I instantly, like, something's exciting, but then as soon as it became real, it's like, look at all the problems. Look at what could go wrong. Will I get to the airport on time? I've never been to an airport. What's an airport actually look like? I'm Terminal 1, but like, what happens when I'm in the terminal? What do I do then? What about if I miss the flight because I'm busy eating a McDonald's? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. What about like if I get on the plane and it's fully booked, so I can't get on the plane, I've got to wait for the next one, and then that's fully booked and I spend a week just sleeping in the airport? What about if the plane doesn't start because I don't know, it's run out of gas? What about if the pilot could be pissed or something like that, or maybe there's one seat too short because like the bloke next to me is so huge, he's taking up both seats, and so then I'm not allowed to go anymore, or I've got to spend the whole flight sitting on a fat, sweaty bloke's lap. Like, I think of every bad, like, just thing, instead of going, but what about when I fly there and I land and I get to meet my friend who I'm buzzing about seeing, and I get to visit a new country for the first time and really enjoy it. And I'm going in December, so I get to go to the Munich Christmas market. I get to go to the Nuremberg Christmas market. I'm going to the Therme, if it's pronounced Therme, in Erding, which is like the biggest spa ever. I'm not thinking about all of that anymore. I was until I booked it. Now I'm thinking about everything that could go wrong. Wanker. But I'm also quite happy, which is strange. So even in my doubt, even in my grief, even in my loneliness, I'm happy, which is a contradiction, but also it's not a contradiction because I know that right now in my life, the current state of it, I'm happy with it. I'm content with it. And I feel as if these doubts that crop up, like my doubts with apologising to people, my doubts with this travel, my doubts with good things and immediately preparing for grief, I feel like that is almost the older me that hasn't quite fucked off yet. If that makes sense. It might not, but it feels like that. It feels like the more enthusiastic, positive, happy version of me has come forward, but the shitty, hating his situation, or this is just life and I'm gonna die miserable, that one of me kind of hasn't gone yet. And I almost feel like there's two of me. I'm making myself sound like I need sectioned. I don't, I promise. This isn't I'm not gonna hurt animals or anything. It feels like there's two of me, and one is coming forward and the other one every so often is trying to push through. Like looking in a mirror and like your mirror image keeps twitching for a second and going, be miserable, It feels like that. It feels like I've just got this one and it just needs to fuck off, and eventually it will. I think eventually it will fuck off and it'll go to the back and it'll never come back because I don't need him Miserable old bald fucking specky wanker. I think that's what I'm dealing with at the minute. There's a long-winded way of saying it, but I think I'm still dealing with me. I think I am. I'm dealing with me. I'm dealing with the new me and the old me. And they're not dissimilar, really, apart from their attitudes. The old me is the me from 2 years ago that if you said, do you want to get a passport and fly? He would have said, absolutely fucking not. No, never. What are you talking about? Are you mad? That's the old me. You know, the old me said, oh, you know what? This relationship's going to end that you've been in for 10 years. Like, absolutely not. I can't cope without this. How am I supposed to live without this? This is all I know. Fuck off. And then the new me's like, yep. Auf Wiedersehen. And it's very strange. That's what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with the two versions of me that absolutely don't work together. So I have to make a choice as to which one I keep, and I'm very fucking sure in which one that I want. But the other one needs to learn to piss off a bit. So to the other me, if you watch this when you're editing it and the other me pops out to go, oh, shall I cut that bit because that bit sounded a bit rude? Shall I cut that bit in case that offends somebody? To that one, if you're the one that's editing right now, fuck off. I sound fucking insane.